Sarah sat in her usual corner of the busy cafe, typing furiously on her laptop. She had been coming here every morning for the past year, always ordering the same coffee, always sitting at the same table, and always too absorbed in her work to notice much else. That morning, however, something strange happened. An elderly man with kind eyes stopped by her table and asked, "May I show you something?" Startled and slightly annoyed at the interruption, Sarah hesitated before nodding reluctantly. The old man pulled out the chair across from her and placed a simple paper frame on the table, just an empty rectangle cut from cardboard. "I've been watching you come here every day," he said, "and you always look at your screen. But have you ever really looked through the window beside you?" Sarah glanced at the large window she had sat next to countless times before. "Of course I have," she replied, though she couldn't actually remember ever paying attention to it. The old man smiled and held up his paper frame. "Look through this at the window, just for 1 minute." Feeling slightly foolish but intrigued, Sarah looked through the makeshift frame. Suddenly, the ordinary street scene transformed. She noticed a young father teaching his little girl to ride a bike, wobbling but filled with determination. An elderly couple sat on a bench, sharing a muffin and laughing like teenagers. A street musician played violin while a professional businessman secretly danced slightly to the music, thinking no one was watching. "I've been a photographer for 50 years, the old man said softly, "and I learned that the most beautiful stories happen in plain sight. We just need to know how to frame them." He stood up and placed the paper frame on her table. Life is full of ordinary moments waiting to become extraordinary memories. But if we're always looking down at our screens, searching for something amazing happening somewhere else, we miss the magic happening right in front of us. As he turned to leave, Sarah called out, "Wait! I don't even know your name." The old man smiled. "Some call me James, but most people know me as Street Stories. I post these everyday moments on social media. Each one has touched millions because they remind us that beauty exists in the ordinary. We just need to look up and notice." Sarah picked up the paper frame and looked through it again. This time she saw a reflection of herself in the window. And for the first time in a long time, she smiled. That evening, Sarah posted a photo of her cafe window view, framed by the cardboard rectangle, with the caption, "Today a stranger taught me that sometimes the most viral moments aren't the ones we chase, but the ones we finally stop to notice." The post went viral, not because it was spectacular, but because it reminded millions of others to pause and see the extraordinary in their ordinary days. And in cafes around the world, people began making their own paper frames,